we are very keen and eager to hear your presentation.
Yes, thank you, Gazala. It's an absolute honor to be a part of this August gathering and addressing colleagues, my very senior colleagues from different parts of the world. And I think even Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary is also a Bengali here, but I'm the only one who will be speaking about the presence of Bengali in the digital platform. So these days, one particular phrase or one particular dialogue from that much debated film Kashmir Files has gained currency. And what is that dialogue? कि सरकार भला ही उनका हो, ecosystem तो हमारा है. Now, what is this ecosystem that the professor of ANU is referring to? It is that ecosystem whose seeds were sown in 1990 by Tim Berners-Lee for managing and documenting the affairs of CERN, the physics laboratory CERN. Now, in these 2 decades, so after 1990, now today we are in 2022. So, in these 3 decades rather, the World Wide Web has been shaped by a multitude of users. The web has been shaped by the users, and today it is a space where the sacred coexists with the profane, the rational rubs shoulders with the radical, and fan clubs jostle for space with hate clubs. Now, the World Wide Web has made something like the Wikipedia possible, an encyclopedia which is collectively compiled by you and me and thousands of other users. And it is also the space that has made some people billionaires. And these billionaires have now the wherewithals to control our fate. So our footprints are picked up by vested interest groups to manipulate our thoughts and choices. Now, in the movie Don't Look Up, which is a recent movie, that Peter Eischerwell, the billionaire CEO of Bash Cellular, he tells Dr. Randall Mindy that he not only knows about Mindy's mood swings, but also where exactly inside his colon there is a wart. So to that extent, if somebody is interested, our entire past, present and future can be mapped by just picking up the digital traces we leave behind. But anyway, this session is not about what vested interest groups do with the traces and how our perceived freedom may turn into be an illusion. Now, this platform is about the perceived opportunity of freedom of expression and how this opportunity is being tapped by individuals and organizations. And since my responsibility is to speak on what is happening in the Bengali language, so I would like to remind you of an incident that happened in 2012. So please allow me to share screen here. So I have some visuals put in the screen. So I will okay. So how many of you can recognize this gentleman? He is Professor Ambikesh Mahapatra with his students at Jadavpur University. He is a teacher of, I think, chemical engineering at Jadavpur University. Now, in 2012, he was arrested because he forwarded this particular cartoon in Bengali. So this is about when the railway ministry was being given to Mukul Rai and Dinesh Trivedi was removed. So with reference to Satyajit Ray's Sonar Kella, they dekhte paccho Mukul, Sonar Kella. And Mukul says, Dushtu Lok, all dialogues from Sonar Kella, Satyajit Ray's film, and Dushtu Lok vanished. So now this will be yours, the Sonar Kella will be yours. He had just forwarded this, maybe to many people, I don't know, but he was arrested for that. And even after, even today, I mean, he was on the grounds of Article 66A of IT Act 2000, and now that IT Act has been scrapped. But still, and in fact, the Supreme Court says that all those against whom cases were pending for this IT Act, Section 66A, those cases should be dropped. But still, the legal thing, he is still mired in a legal tangle. He has not been acquitted as yet. So this was in 2012. Now in 2020, Sheikh Safiqul Islam, owner of Arambagh TV, and his wife, they were arrested after the channel exposed Mamata Banerjee's government over donations to various clubs and all that. Okay. Now he is he is out on bail. The High Court gave him bail, and now his TV channel, Arambak TV, it has more than 5,41,000 subscribers. And till January 24, when I checked the data, the number of videos uploaded were 5,039. And he himself, in one of the episodes, he explained his monthly earning, that it is between $3.1K and $49.5K, depending on how many hits are there. And 45% is kept by YouTube, 55% goes to this gentleman. And I mean, he extremely popular channel. Now, if you see, every day he uploads at least 3 videos. Each video is about 10 minutes long, and it seems to be a one-man show. In each video, he tackles only one particular issue of current importance. He doesn't go into in-depth analysis, and maybe because of the topicality and because of the simplicity with which he handles the issue, very lowbrow. I mean, if you allow me to use the term, his channel appears to be very lowbrow. Okay, and there is nothing elitist about it. It seems to be a one-man show, but the popularity is that, I mean, within an hour he gets a viewership of 25,000. So that is the kind of popularity of Arambak TV. So it is a completely YouTube news and current affairs channel. So whatever be its quality, of course he doesn't go for fake news and everything, but the quality of journalism, it's not the best quality of journalism perhaps, but he has a lot of following. There is no doubt about it. Now, Arambak TV is not the only Bengali channel. There is this channel, there may be many others, but this is another channel that has caught my attention. It is called Jukti Torko Songe Orko. So this Orko Prabhu Sarkar rather, he is the main anchor here. So this particular channel, he uploads one a day. And his thing, what I like about this particular channel is that Orko Prabhu Sarkar, he does a lot of research on the subject that he is about to describe. He also takes with one issue in one episode. Okay, he doesn't fragment his 20 minutes into different issues, one issue, one episode, but he does an in-depth analysis. Just like Shekhar Gupta, he goes into an in-depth analysis. So he does a lot of research, he gathers a lot of statistics, data, and he brings in all that in his argument. So that way it is more satisfying, but he is not being able to, of course it is much newer compared to Arambak TV, but still he is not being able to attract that much viewership as Arambak TV does. And also what I noticed, like here today only I took a screenshot of this, that you will see these advertisements on both sides, and there are then other advertisements that are flashing. That means his earning, he has sponsors, other sponsors who are supporting the channel. He doesn't have to depend on YouTube alone for his earnings. So this is about some glimpses of the journalistic endeavors, independent of the television channels are there, ABP, Anand and all are there, very much there in the digital media, but these are the independent ventures who are making their presence felt. Okay, two very different kind of Bengali news channels which are completely YouTube channels. Okay, but then let us now move a little bit out of this domain of politics, because Bengalis are known for their art, literature, music, poetry, cinema, theatre and so on. Okay, so what is happening in these fronts as far as the Bengali language or Bengali culture, whatever you call it, is concerned? So there are some continuities, and we will see whether new grounds are being broken or not. Now, if we go into the history of culture, or rather history of media in Bengal, then we will see that there have been, apart from that big wave of Bengal Renaissance, where the entire Bengali prose was shaped by the journalist in Samachar Darpan, I am not talking about that era, but there have been very interesting pockets of efflorescence like Bottola, like that little magazine movement in the 60s, 70s. Then in other fields, we have had Jibonmukhi Gan and even Bengali rock and like that. So there have been these movements, this efflorescence, some phases of efflorescence we have seen. Okay, now how much of that is being reflected in the digital media? So what I found very, very interesting is this digital little magazine Kourav. It is called Kourav, and it was originally a little magazine which was published from, even now it is published from Jamshedpur, not from Calcutta but from Jamshedpur. And because it is published from Jamshedpur, I mean, it had a completely different flavor from the Calcutta, the Bengali literature that came from Calcutta, the little magazine literature that came from Calcutta. Because Jamshedpur was an industrial township, so you know, a small place developing into a big industrial township surrounded by the tribal hinterland. So there is a clash of civilizations, and there are so many things blending into that. All that was coming into this their language and the kind of topics they dealt with, and they experiment a lot with the Bengali language, the kind of various styles of poetry and all that. So many little magazines came and went, but this particular little magazine has not only survived, but it now has a digital avatar, which is very interesting. And here what they are doing is this mud proposal. It's called Clear Practice of Interdisciplinary Language Arts. Okay, so they are taking proposals from people that if you want to do some experimentation with Bengali language, so I mean, give us proposals. Then there are this in the same thing that this is called Poribishoyi Kobita, circumcontentive poetry. That means poetry in which other disciplines will pour in freely. Okay, so all these kinds of poetic experimentations they are doing. So that is one interesting thing I discovered. Another interesting thing is a science magazine portal called Kalpo Vishwa. So this is the logo of Kalpo Vishwa. So here in Kalpo Vishwa, they are translating world literature, also science fiction. There are also a lot of original science fiction. I do not know whether in any other language a science fiction web magazine is there, but Kalpo Vishwa I found is quite thriving. Okay, and a lot of new stories are being contributed there every week and every month. Okay, so that is again something that is quite alive and quite vibrant, I found. So this is one. Then this is another thing. I mean, while I was doing net surfing, somebody drew my attention to this. This particular site is called Guru Chandal. Now in Bengali, this Guru Chandal actually means a mix of languages, meaning when you are writing, which has the Shuddh Bengali as well as the colloquial Bengali, you are mixing the two together. If you read Rabindranath Tagore, it is always Shuddh Bengali. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, even more Shuddh Bengali. But if you read the more modern writers, they started mixing the two. So here in this site, they are deliberately mixing, and that's why they have called this site Guru Chandal. Okay, so this is, I found it a very 21st century kind of writing, the language as well as the way they have named their various tabs and all, very youthful, full of humor. So this was established in 2013, and it is picking up. You know, it's an interesting thing. Another thing I found that Auporjon, Bengali webzine on social, cultural and literary issues. So this particular issues, for example, March, that is the latest one, March 2022, it is on Chotkol. That means the jute industry. Okay, and it has, you know, short stories based on jute mill workers. There are poems based on jute mill workers. There is history of what happened to the jute mills of Bengal, the politics behind it, economics, so everything related to jute mills. Okay, so something like that you will not find in any print version, but in this web version they are going into this sort of detailed thing, and they are getting good quality work, I mean quality pieces of writing they are getting in these magazines. Okay, and this is a children's web magazine called Joydhak. So this Joydhak covers everything from mathematics phobia to learn your spellings to science and environmental consciousness, and of course stories, cartoons. This also has some science fiction, so very colorful and very diverse kind of thing. It's there in this portal. And then of course if you want to want books, so this is here, read Bengali books, so you can order for Bengali books here, and the Bangladeshi version is here, Bangladeshi e-books. So like that, these things I found on the internet. But then, what are my, concluding remarks? I mean, after going through all these things on the internet, various kinds of experimentations with Bengali language, literature, and other cultural things, my observations are this: that this internet, the web, is a space of collaborative learning and collective intelligence. So here in this space, there are Bengalis living in Calcutta and other parts of Bengal. In fact, provincial Bengalis and Calcutta Bengalis, they have very different characters. Then there are Probashi Bengali, Bengalis who are living in Delhi, Bombay, they have another kind of character. Then there are diasporic Bengali community who have yet another kind of outlook to life, another kind of character. So, and then of course Bangladesh is there, okay, where the national language is Bengali language. But I didn't find, that these diverse kinds of strands of Bengali thinking coming together. I am yet to find that. So there are these pockets, but they are not coming together. Okay, so this is something to lament on maybe, and maybe it will happen someday, but I am not seeing this, that collective thing happening here. Although the net is the ideal space for this diverse strands to come together and work collectively, but I am not seeing that happening. And also that the other, like music, music could have flourished more on the internet, but we are not finding new kinds of Bengali music coming up on the YouTube channels and all that. It's a rehash of the old thing. So certain very interesting experimentations are happening, but at the same time there is a lot that can happen. A lot of potential has remained untapped. Okay, so hopefully in the near future people will come forward and we will see more exciting things happening with Bengali language and literature and culture and all that on the internet. So these were my simple observations, and I thank you, Ghazala, for giving me the space so that I went into this exploration because I committed to you that I will give this presentation and these discoveries I made, and naturally I will continue. Now that my interest is around, I will continue exploring these, and thank you for allowing me to share some of my observations with you. So thanks a lot.
Thank you very